Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Ashley Mailloux kicking off a 50-cent pick five at Gulfstream Park on Sunday with their feature race. Race number 6 is the Any Limit. These are 3-year-old fillies going 3/4 of a mile. Let's take a peek at this field. The one runaway diva likely to race in an allowance on Friday. Amor Fati, the number 3 who was entered in that allowance, is going to run here for Britney Russell. She's fast, but she's taking on a good one in our Harper Rose.
She certainly is, but what an impressive debut. She debuted down at Gulfstream Park. I think she really did everything asked of her, got a nice figure of an 80 by her speed figure, which actually is an equal to her rival in here, our Harper Rose, who in her second career start was able to kind of get a similar figure going 5.5. So I think that's probably the main duo to look for, but even Candy Gray was pretty solid in her debut.
So only a short field. It'll be interesting to see how this pace plays out. We'll throw up our Timeform US pace projector. Amor Fati was very swift in her career debut, and I would expect if it ain't broke, don't fix it. She's going right to the front. Candy Gray was also fast. It'll be interesting to see if she can sit. We know our Harper Rose can.
Absolutely. I do think that plays in the way of our Harper Rose having that versatility. But I agree with what you said about Brittany Russell's horse and More Fati and the fact that this horse was extremely sharp, a sub 45 half, where Candy Gray maybe not as fast. And that was during her 2-year-old season. We haven't seen her since, but both impressive on debut in different ways. And I think a More Fatty is going to have things on her way as long as she breaks well. You never know with these second time starters.
There's a chance this pace really does heat up, and that could help the 5 Chi at a price. You'll note the LP flag over her chiclet. That means she has the fastest Timeform US late pace rating. The one is Runaway Diva, and she's going to run on Friday, so I wouldn't expect her to come back in the Any Limit. So we'll move on to the number 2, Launch, who's coming off a really nice win. First level allowance score. Let's take a look at Launch on Valentine's Day, and she showed good speed in this spot. She holds on to win at 6.5 furlongs. She's another one that could be part of this pace picture, stepping back up into the stakes ranks where she ran fine into a very nice filly into Champagne two back.
I think she could be part of the pace. I don't know if she needs to be based on her effort two back, but she really needed to grind it out here at 6.5. And that's where I think the 6 furlongs maybe plays a little bit more to her favor. And just interesting to watch her kind of progression, Dan, when you look at those races stateside. When she was able to break her maiden at Delaware Park, she only had a 56 buyer speed figure. They put her on the shelf. She came back. She was second in the Glitter Woman. And then to see that performance, she got an 82 buyer for that one at the 6.5 furlong distance. All in all, I thought it was a good performance. She did what she needed to get it done. But I do like her on the cutback.
She's really found a home on dirt after a solid start to her career overseas on the lawn. The number 3 is Amor Fati. And let's watch this career debut for Britney Russell. She was not a secret. She was 2-1 in a 10-horse field. She showed high speed, blew it open on the turn, and just keeps right on rolling along. 80 buyer speed figure for Amor Fati. Now she gets the class test, and it'll be interesting to see. Can she clear off from Candy Gray and get a breather?
And once they hit the 8th pole, it does look like maybe part of the field's going to catch her a little bit more than they end up doing. She actually finds that next gear in deep stretch and draws clear by over 5 lengths. I think that was a promising sign because she really wasn't getting leg weary. I think it was just more of her responding to Luis Saez, who's booked to ride once again.
Not to be outdone is the 4 Candy Gray. Now, she might have had some things working against her in this career debut. She was bet down to odds on, and as we take a look, it's a wet track. She had to go 6.5 furlongs, and while the buyer speed figure is light compared to a More Fati, keep in mind that this is a September 2-year-old number, not a February 3-year-old number. A nice performance. The layoff is a little bit of a concern.
The layoff is a concern. I think the thing that I am most impressed by with this performance is not the margin of victory, but I know in recent time, maybe Staffy Joseph Jr.'s numbers with first-time starters are stronger than they were 18 months ago. But even if they debut like that, to have that big of a debut, I think bodes really well for her. I think she will take the step forward. That's always the big question. When a horse has a big debut, are they able to replicate it? The number, not as strong as others in here. Visually, though, it was impressive. And to me, I think she does have the potential to take the step forward.
And it's a confident placement, is it? There are plenty of first-level allowance races for 3-year-old fillies, and Sappy's going to throw her right into a stake. First time against winners, first off a significant layoff. I think Chi has an outside chance at a price if this pace heats up, because last time out, she was third behind our Harper Rose. I thought that track at Gulfstream might have been favoring speed a little bit, and she's got a little bit of back class being a multiple stakes winner already.
I agree with you. I think it's going to come down to the pace of this race. She's shown the ability to close. I know 2 starts back in the cash run, that wasn't the case, but it was also going a mile, and at Gulfstream Park, it's a one-turn mile. So I think the Sandpiper performance at Tampa was really respectable. And I agree with you. I don't think the track played to her advantage last time out. So I wouldn't discount her here or disregard her in this spot.
Our Harper Rose completes the field. She is simply the horse to beat. A perfect 4 for 4 sprinting in her career. Here's her victory in the Grade 3 forward gal last time out. She showed good tactical speed, got right up on the pace, takes the lead turning into the stretch, and keeps on going. 79 Beyer speed figure. Nice to see a career best in first start as a 3-year-old.
She's hard to ignore off this performance alone. I know she was forward from the gate. I'm not necessarily thinking that she needs the lead sort of type of horse here. I mean, she did not have the lead in those early stages of the race, and I think that's key. We've seen those firsters. You don't really know what they're going to do second time out, especially if things don't go their way. I think both of them got a nice lead and took advantage of it and were able to draw clear. More fatty, maybe more impressive than the other runner. But I think if you're going off a resume alone, it's really hard to go against our Harper Rose.
Just a nice outside attack post position where she can set up, shop off the speeds while clear of traffic. We'll take a look at our top picks for the Any Limit. Our Harper Rose is way the horse to beat. She's your top pick. I'm curious to see if Amor Fati can pull off a down the road speed show second time out.
And it certainly could happen. She was very, very speedy in that debut. You can see we have a super effective box of sorts here. I think these are the 4 contenders that are going to take most of the respect. But the one that scares me the most, who I use in the 4 spot, is Chi Chi. If this is a pace meltdown, this is the horse that clearly on paper will be rolling late.
6325 for Ashley, 3652 for me, and the Any Limit, the first leg of a 50-cent pick 5 at Gulfstream Park on Sunday. Best of luck.